Hello, I'm Regdrin, and I'm no longer really a space admiral.
I am Stone of Triumph, and he's really more of a space commander.
Well, let's take a look at the ship design, because I've switched to the Empire.
Yes.
The Empire loves its shields.
Yes.
Which means that for our frontliner pulse cruisers, I decided to just put 3 shields on there and let that be my defense.
Mm-hmm.
My thinking is that usually they tell their fighters to not target cruisers first.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I want to take a look at a signature Empire ship which is not a cruiser, because, and this is something I kinda like, once I find the correct thing.
The Imperial Weapons Platform.
Yes, it is mostly hard points. This is a reward for taking a look at frigates seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I also use these for tractor platforms. I think I can fit 5 onto them.
Right.
But then you run into power and crew problems.
Yes.
But yeah, you can fit lots of plasma on these guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ones I see in challenges often use them as missile platforms.
I'm not such a huge fan of frigate missiles. They often don't pierce cruiser shields. And the longer range ones are really slow.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, they are pretty good at shooting other frigates. So if you want something to snipe other frigates and you don't have a certain DLC, well, there you go.
Let's not talk about that DLC.
Yeah, we don't have any plans to use that particular DLC. And this information is important because, as we discussed last time, we are not able to wield the Empire's true power this time.
Because this is an all-frigate battle.
It is an all-frigate battle. Fighters are going to be important here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've got hard mode.
Yes.
So it looks like they're fielding 3 full fighter squadrons here.
Yes.
How do we respond to this one? Well, we've got a couple of tractor frigates. I think having 1 fire squadron kind of escort the tractor with a wide berth will be pretty good here.
Yep.
And let's see, in addition to being cooperative, let's have our rocket fighters and non-rocket fighters be vultures. I haven't really tried that order before, but it might work against frigates here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I had my frigates actually pretty fast. Well, okay, not super fast by frigate standards, but I did put a decent amount of engine power on them. Yeah, we're still kind of outnumbered, aren't we?
By a lot.
Yeah, we are outnumbered by a lot. Normally we can deal with this, but since frigate shields don't really bounce frigate weapons off, it's more of a problem here than it usually is.
Correct.
Alright, well, let's go and let's hope for the best, I guess.
Okay. The thing is, they may have lower DPS, but frigate missiles still have better tracking speed, and you were missing shots with your plasma weapons.
Yeah, we tried normal mode before, and it didn't work out so well, so of course the logical thing was to switch to hard mode.
Yes.
My defense to this is that normal setups are often more difficult than hard setups, or at least sometimes. Like, look at this. Even though those front frigates are technically more dangerous to us because they have tractor beams for our fighters, they're not actually doing so great here.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the enemy formation is not doing so great here.
Because they're set to attack fighters.
But even with this advantage in formation, we're still taking some losses, which just kind of shows how these frigate versus frigate battles go. But I think that the vulture settings help a little bit, because I am noticing a fair amount of hull damage taken from fighters here.
Correct.
Yeah, we're actually starting to get an advantage in health, which is a pretty good sign with these maps.
Yeah, the way I usually do these maps is to just drop in 5 squadrons of rocket fighters, blow up all the frigates, and wait for the computer to give up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one way to do it, but I like using frigates. I think they're fun.
Yeah. I also like using frigates.
Just not on this map.
Yes.
Well, we'd probably have some trouble if we had to fight all these guys at once, but fortunately for us, they had bad orders, so that's not what happened.
Are you saying my glorious formation is garbage?
Well, this isn't your glorious formation. Or were you quoting something?
I was just thinking of Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Okay, that's fair. That does seem like a line that would be from there. And as for why I haven't put missile defense on my frigates, even though missiles are clearly a thing, well, unfortunately, they don't have guidance scrambler beams, and those are really the only good missile defense in this game.
Mm-hmm. Hooray.
Good work! The Emperor himself is most pleased with your victory, minuscule it may be in the grand scheme. Well, I guess they have more of a right to say that with this frigate battle than with most battles.
Yes. So...
yeah, it looks like they missed a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that this is my least favorite map in this game.
Oh, it is absolutely the worst map in this game.
Alright, so what do you think? You think I should replace one of my fighter squadrons with just a rocket fighter instead?
Well, it's up to you.
Well, yeah, but you mentioned that's what you do.
Yes, that is what I do. But it's up to you what you do.
I guess so. Also, I'm trying the fast rocket fighter instead of the armored rocket fighter here.
Uh-huh. Not a bad idea.
I think the thing that I noticed the most with that style is that sometimes they survive due to speed even when they're being pulled by a tractor beam.
Yes.
That's why the supercharged tractor beam exists, but no one uses that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's check the enemy formation here. We've got a few things at the bottom that... oh. Okay, so I expect some trouble on the top side of this formation.
Yep. Here comes the plasma.
Here comes the plasma. Well, it looks like the fighters heading straight for us are not doing so well. So that's good news, at least.
I think they may have less fighters in this configuration than in the hard setup.
Maybe. And just more frigates. Lots of frigates. I don't see any tractor beams, though.
Well, that's their problem.
It sure is their problem. If you're gonna put armor on frigates, it has to be for a very specific purpose.
Which is to say, getting your armor strength above 12.
let's see. There's 2 breakpoints that you might want to consider. One is 8, which is what will stop fighter lasers. And I think 12 is for rockets, right?
Yes. Easier for some fleets than for others.
Yeah. The Alliance, of course, has little trouble with it. And I think some other factions also have frigates with an armor bonus.
Yeah, I think the Parasites might.
Yeah. I think the Order does as well. They like their armor.
Well, the Order is mainly power output.
Okay, fair enough. I stand corrected. So how do things look? Well...
I think you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, it looks like they don't really have any counters for our fighters up there.
No tractor beams. No, missiles.
Anti-fighter missiles aren't even that good, though. And the reason I say that is that their speed is 0.5 something, and fighters go more than that if you're in any way competent. And yeah, that's turning out pretty well, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
The top of their formation is doing something kind of weird.
Yeah, they're basically shooting at fighters.
Mm-hmm. With their relatively heavy beam lasers.
Oh, now they're targeting the weapon platform.
Okay, well, that's I can't really expect them to do useless stuff forever, now can I?
Oh man, I was hoping those were fighter torpedoes. Oh well.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny, wouldn't it?
Sorry, I'm frigate torpedoes.
That would also be pretty funny.
And, well, I don't see much trouble here.
Yeah, health-wise, we're actually still kind of even, but considering what the value started at, I think things are looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some things that we learned from this. Wow, pretty much all the plasma is hitting to the right there.
Yeah, some of those ships have taken engine damage and that sort of thing.
Yeah, they might not even have orders to keep moving. Well, to be fair, not all of mine do either, but the enemy isn't using plasma artillery, which they really should. Frigate, as we've seen time and time again how good that is.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of the challenges that use rebel frigates use frigate plasma.
Yeah, Alliance and the Empire are also good with that.
Well,
good work. The Emperor... Oh, the same victory quote, unfortunately. Pretty much all of the Empire victory quotes are like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Glory to the Emperor, and I guess I suppose some of you as well.
Yes. But hey, you've done it.
I think what I like least about this map is how it reduces the number of viable builds you have for your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, because they took out one leg of the tripod.
Mm-hmm. Oh well. Now for a word from our sponsor, Esoterica. For the gear that no one likes to use, but perhaps some of the really dedicated space nerds like to talk about. The first one is going to be a cruiser weapon.
Oh?
Yes. That is going to be, as soon as I find it, I know it's here somewhere.
What are you looking for?
The fusion beam.
See, it's with the beams.
Yes, I know. Imperial Cruiser Defense Laser. Maybe the Empire just doesn't have access to it.
They do not.
Okay, well, I know that or at least I'm fairly sure.
Just pick the Federation.
Yeah, the Federation has access to it. Fusion beam. You can blast things with beam weapons, or you can fuse them. Fusing is the new blasting, and a great way to cut your way through strong enemy armor.
Mm-hmm.
As far as its stats go, it's okay.
Yes.
In fact, it's kind of hard to tell the difference, really.
Well, it does have better shield penetration than the regular beam laser.
Yeah, it's like... I guess the best comparison is to the purple beam.
Yes.
In that case, though, it's a lot more costly than the purple beam.
Oh, it has actually a much better fire rate than regular beam lasers.
Well, it's better than the purple beam, but not that much better than the cruiser beam.
Okay.
It's one of the options that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really see it used a whole lot.
Okay.
And another thing comes right from the Empire, and one that is also kind of uncommon due to how expensive it is. The shield support beam. Go for it.
This clever bit of techno-trickery beams a strengthening beam to nearby allied ships and reinforces their shields as they take damage. Ideal for escort frigates. Shield support. Because you want to protect what's important.
This works very well if your enemies have not really told their cruisers to target your frigates, because this is probably going to be close to your cruisers and within weapon range.
Yes.
Also, as frigate gear goes, it is roughly 3 or 4 times as expensive as most frigate equipment. It also requires a whole lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, you cannot stack a whole bunch of these on a support frigate.
What a shame.
Like, it also makes the support frigate expensive overall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit of a question whether these things are worth it.
Mm-hmm.
They're more worth it in Gratuitous Space Battles 2, but we don't talk about that game.
Correct.
So, I think that just about does it.
That is it for this time.
Oh, and by the way, for those curious, we are going to have our battle done after all of the normal DLC or not missions, but there are not too many more. And also, this is going to be a special event, more than one video's worth. I promise that it will be fun, at least by our standards.
Correct.
Do you have anything to add about this?
Nope.
You're keeping your secrets, aren't you?
Of course I am. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing.
Okay, fair enough. Later, everybody.
See ya.